Welcome to Desk Careers. I am so excited to be introducing you to an incredible guest. Today, we are meeting with Olivia Manner, who is the owner and head of food and innovation at Hello Chef. I'm so excited to have you with me today. For anybody watching, I'm wearing a mask. I'm at Dubai English Speaking College, and we have an incredible event going on today. And of course, I want to be keeping to restrictions and be safe, and I'm wearing a mask. But Olivia, you are safely in your space. And we are here together and talking about your career, Hello Chef, and the incredible opportunities that you've experienced on that journey. It's so great to have you. Thank you for being here today, Olivia.
Thank you so much.
What an honor. What an honor. I mean, as a woman, as a mother, and as an entrepreneur, you are just the holistic picture of incredible superwoman to anyone that will have come across you. I mean, I have so many questions. I think before we jump into what you're doing currently, I'd like to take you back down memory lane to the time when you were a young adolescent. Do you remember being that young teenager, Olivia?
I do remember being her, and I had to I journal quite a bit, which is one of I think the things that keeps me sane in the busy days. I wake up quite early. I do my journaling and my exercise before I start the day. And just recently, I had to redefine for myself what fun means. And as soon as I started thinking, what's fun? I started thinking, what was fun when I was a teenager? And I realized I write things like going out with my friends, going dancing, whatever was fun when I was 16. And then I had to think, but actually, I'm going to be 41 soon. Is that still the same thing for me? Or should I actually change that? So I have been thinking about a lot about what it was like to be a teenager, recently.
Amazing. So let's go back. I love that you've already been thinking about it. What did you want to be when you were that teenager? Do you remember when people would probably ask you, what are you going to be when you grow up, Olivia? How did you respond to that question?
So I didn't grow up in an environment where there was a lot of expectations for me to be a doctor or a lawyer or study hard. So my parents didn't go to university, so they didn't really have a path that they wanted me to follow. They just wanted me to work hard and succeed, and work hard and be honest and do good by people. So that's the kind of only things and only expectations I had, which in many ways is great, but didn't give me a lot of guidance on what is it that I wanted to do. Because when you're that young, it's very difficult to decide, on one thing that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And I think that was the idea that I always struggled with. There's so many fun things to do. So I for sure wanted to travel. I do enjoy writing. I love sports. I love food and entertaining. So I always thought if I can find something there, then I would be in heaven. But there was no profession that would encompass all of that. So at some point, I dreamt about being an airline pilot. We have lots of pilots in my family, so it was kind of also something that I thought would be really cool. I'd get to satisfy my whim of traveling. At some point, I wanted to be a journalist, either do sports journalism, so I could travel and interview amazing people and go and see sporting events. And but none of these happened.
So here you are today. Tell me about Hello Chef, because I think as an enterprise, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's so inventive, and at the same time, it saves lives. Like, as a working mom myself, I think we've saved the hassle of thinking about what we want to eat, and also making sure that it's nutritious and it's exciting and interesting, and it saves lives. Like, my children and I have not murdered each other yet because of Hello Chef. So tell us what it is, and how you came up with this inventive idea.
So I can take basically not any credit because I didn't invent the idea. I just didn't know that this existed when I started thinking of the next phase in my life. So I had done a proper career, IBM, Ernest and Young, worked in project management. And after I had kids, I knew I wanted to quickly go back to work because I wasn't necessarily cut out to just be or not just, but to be at home. I really wanted to do something else in addition to that. And so I kind of started thinking, okay, how can I combine some passions? And so I took the passion of food and I looked at the state of the world today and I'm like, geez, especially having just moved to Dubai, I thought there's so much takeout. There's so many people that you can constantly see into apartments, things being delivered, ready made. And I thought, why is this? Is it because it's affordable? Is it because people are struggling with time? Is it because people maybe don't know how to cook? Is it because going to the supermarket is such a chore and having to think about like, what is it I'm going to make on Sunday evening, Monday evening, Tuesday evening, because you don't want to go every day to the supermarket and do that planning. And actually all of those are like thoughts that I had myself. So I like want to simplify things so I can go back to work, have a system in place so that we can still eat amazing food and I don't have that mum guilt of ordering pizza every 2 nights or having noodle soups, or to still be able to give my children some amazing vegetables and sort of also cook because I like to cook. So I just passionate about Dragon's Den and Shark Tank. These are programs where entrepreneurs go and pitch their ideas to investors. And just randomly one day we saw with my husband an episode where a company called Plated later on got purchased or acquired by another big supermarket company were pitching. And they were pitching this kind of idea. And I thought, oh my God, you could have a business where you get to deal with food and create really good food, but at the same time, you teach people how to cook it so that people can have self-confidence in cooking again and self-sufficient in feeling like, okay, I know that I'm providing my children, myself, good nutritious food, and it becomes easy so that it's one thing that you want to do, but it seems quite hard to do every day of the week in midst of the busy life. So I didn't invent the concept. I saw it and I thought, okay, maybe this is something. I didn't have the capital to invest in a big restaurant, for instance, which was something that was always in the back of my mind, something that I would like to do. So then I that's it. We just slowly started chipping away and how we can get this done. And actually, I was not the first one in the UAE at all. There already were a couple of companies doing these things. So that was great because at least there was some kind of market. There were some customers that knew that this is an option, that you can actually buy a box of food, fresh ingredients. So I didn't have to start absolutely from scratch in terms of educating the market. But that journey is still long and we still have lots to do on that. But that's another story.
Absolutely incredible. And I think for anyone who really wants to enjoy healthy, nutritious food and feel like you're eating out, but you're actually eating in, this is an incredible opportunity. And I mean, you're being very humble. Let's face it, the delivery comes to your door and you just have to receive it. And of course, anybody watching this is not a paid interview. We are not promoting Hello Chef. We are promoting the concept of this incredible entrepreneur. And Olivia Manner has also really put efforts into thinking about the connections between Hello Chef and coming into academic institutions such as Dubai English Speaking College. So it's an absolutely incredible opportunity. Olivia, let's go down the career highlights. You kind of mentioned some of the things that you did before you became an entrepreneur. If you had to reflect backward, what would you say were your top 3 highlights of your career so far?
I have to say that I've had many weird and wonderful jobs throughout my life. So I started so-called making money at 14, 15. It was a thing where I came from. So you'd automatically have a summer job and then sometimes you carry doing that over the weekends just to make some more extra pocket money for yourself. I think some career highlights, I have to say that the one that's really marked me was one of my first jobs as I was a cleaner, a housekeeper in a hotel by the airport. And I did this for 2 months for the summer holidays. And that was an eye-opening experience because, first of all, I was still studying and I was just reminded that making money and learning through your work and being able to build a career is not given. It's not given. You have to actually make it happen for yourself. So I was there cleaning with lots of other students, but then there were also people in their 50s, in their 40s, with families, with children that came to do this work every day. And for me, that was just like, oh my gosh, what if I end up doing this for my whole life? It's an amazing job, it's an important job, but it is very, very physically hard. And it is also, if you don't have a good social community at work, it can also be quite grueling and not very exciting. So at least for me. So for me, that was like the great experience. I will reflect on that thinking it is awesome that I learned how to clean properly, make a bed properly, and make money that way. I always know that I have something that I can do. But at the same time, it was just for me an aha moment that, if I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, for instance, then I really need to make it happen for myself. And nobody's going to do it for me. Nobody's going to give it to me. So that was great. And then I think one of the highlights after that was working at IBM and EY. These were big name corporates. These were like, you felt like you have landed, you've made it. You have a business card. My family was taking me seriously all of a sudden. I was like, wow, okay, you're doing something with yourself. You have this big job. Now all you need to do is keep your head down and do your work, and just like don't rock the boat, so that you just like stay and steadily, and one day you will become supervisor and manager, and so following that career path. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I learned so much. These kind of big companies, what they do is they provide you great training programs. They provide you great examples of what is a great boss, what is a not so great boss. And so you learn all these things. I think just staying open-minded and trying to, maybe during that time you didn't understand it, what you were learning, but afterwards you're like, actually now I know that this person was a great boss, and I know that this person, had some areas of improvements at the time that made me feel maybe a little bit weird and insecure or something. So later on, when you sort of grow and you're able to reflect on the past, maybe not when it's happening. So I would say like having a very, very entry level manual job is really one of the best experiences one can have. It's when you start your own business, the way I did, without any funding, without any big team. Then I'm the one doing the cleaning. I'm the one doing the chopping. I'm the one doing the driving. I'm the one packing. I'm the one carrying the boxes. And I think having that sort of very humble experience early on in life really helps you to understand, once you start employing people and teaching them how to do their job and how to have passion in packing a box, how to have passion in cleaning. Why is it important? So I think all those experiences together have been the highlights.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love the scope that you provided for us. And let's zone in now on being an entrepreneur. We've recently had a few entrepreneurs talking to our business students and our media students about the realities of their work. And there's still a concept of an entrepreneur. Some people will say, wow, what an incredible thing to do. And you get to be your own boss. Other people will say, what a responsibility. What if I can't survive at the end of the month? How will I pay for my bills? What would you say has been your experience as an entrepreneur? Have you felt any of these things, or are there other experiences that you would add and attribute to that role of entrepreneur?
So yes, I felt most of those things, and I feel them most of, most of the days. But yes, I think it's for being a successful entrepreneur. This is something I discuss regularly with my fellow entrepreneur friends. To be a real success and have a business that matters to people, that can survive through tough times, because lots of people have had terribly tough times in the last years with COVID. Really, you can only do it with passion. And it doesn't mean that you have to have passion every day for what you do, and passion for your business or your customer or your product constantly like oozing out of the pores, because it's very hard. Sometimes there's tough situations and you just want to quit. But what you will have passion in finishing what you started. You have passion in making it happen. You have passion in teaching and growing the people that are working with you to make your dream come true.
And that's it. I think being an entrepreneur is one of those things that every day you wake up and think, okay, we're going to be fighting fires today in 1, 2, 3 area. And then we get to be really creative. I think as well, would you agree that being an entrepreneur, sometimes you can forget that people that work with you aren't as passionate as you are about your vision for your product or your service? As an entrepreneur, how do you maintain your employees' level of enthusiasm to make sure that your brand and your vision for your brand maintains that level of enthusiasm that you know you need to stay competitive?
I think if somebody has the key to that, they've probably written volumes of stories about it. But how I would approach it for sure is first you treat people like you would treat your most beloved friend. You need to treat the people you work with like your most beloved friend, because they're there to make your dream, your customer happy. And that's really important. And treating people fairly is not always easy, and it's definitely not something that we're known for in this part of the world. So I think that's very important to be mindful. If you want to make a successful business and have great people working for you that have the passion and the understanding and the knowledge and want to build themselves by working in your business, you need to treat them fair. That means, in terms of pay, in terms of working hours, in terms of just in general, building a culture of empowerment, building a culture of transparency. And so I don't have it nailed, but we're definitely working on that. And just yesterday, we have a book club, for instance, for different teams in the office, and we often read 1 or 2 books per quarter. And currently, we are reading a book that is very much inspired by self-management, so teams that self-manage and companies that self-manage. And this is a little bit of an aspiration that my husband, who is my business partner, and I have for the business. And so yesterday, for instance, we spent an hour with a small team of people of figuring out how we can become more whole in the business, so that everybody, when they come to work, you would know that people have different masks, right? You have I'm the mom mask, I'm the old friend from university mask, I am the new friend who's really cool and hip, I am the boss, I am the employee. So we have all these masks. And so when we start peeling these masks and start becoming who we are, then we can actually feel really happy, because we get to contribute in the most whole way possible. So we had a session about that just yesterday, and we're going to try a couple of new things during November, and also try to support men's health, because November is the month of Movember. So we've got quite a few things happening just on men's mental health, for instance. So just looking at things, and most importantly, asking people what they want to do. I don't have the answers to barely any of the questions anymore. And thankfully, I have now removed a couple of masks. I'm sure there's plenty left. And I can just say, I don't know. I don't have the answer. What do you want to do? What's the right thing?
It's being authentic, isn't it? And I think your members of the team will really appreciate that authenticity, because at the end of the day, we're just waking up every day and just trying to do what feels right for our business and our personal and professional lives as well. Now, let's put that mother hat on, Olivia. Looking at this right now might be young students, both males and females, that will look to you and think, wow, this is absolutely incredible. Being able to juggle a family and a business, that must be quite a lot to do. Would you say that the skills that you learned in your life prepared you for this role as a mom, entrepreneur, wife, and a woman? Or do you think this was life experience that you're gaining that's teaching you how to take on these roles?
What a good question. I think most of the time you're just winging it, don't you? So I feel like there's a lot of winging happening. However, for you to be able to make good decision, it always tends to come from experience and values that have been set and that you can also change and you can work on. So I have to say that one thing that we do quite a lot, and I say we because it's not just me, it's my husband and I, we do work a lot on ourselves. So we do take, a chunk every day of time to just, think about what are my values, but what is the business values? Why do I feel stressed? Why do I feel anxious? And really working on the mental side of things. So it's just like instead of just going to the gym, you do like the gym for the mindset. So there's a lot of that's required. But for sure, the journey is not easy and it requires a lot of sacrifice. Will my children, did I miss things when my kids were growing up? They're now 9 and 8. Lots. I missed lots. I was not at home very much in the first few years of the business, but I was there to put them to sleep. I provided them with food. I provided them healthy experiences. I think that's also a benefit that we have here in the UAE. You can hire wonderful help at home. And again, by treating them nice, passing them good values, paying them well, and making sure that you educate them and help them with their training in life, and don't just hand over the keys and say, good luck. then you can build this network, because it takes a bit of a village to raise children anyway, and often we don't have family here. So you need to start building this village around you, just as a business owner, but also as a mom. And I don't know if anything prepares you for it, but they do say that you get lots of extra hormones when you're a fresh mom to see you through those. And now I can't really remember any of the bad times anymore, the sleepless nights. It's a little bit of a blur. I remember that they were there, but I'm trying to now, 6 years into the business, I find myself finding more time on the weekend. I try not to work anymore on Friday at all. And Saturday, I just prep for the new week, which is good for me. Then I can enjoy my Saturday evening with my children. But I don't work, I try to be home by 6. And this is something that has been a big deal. I try to be home by 5:30, I think, in the new year, and maybe after the summer, 5 o'clock, and then maybe see if I can do one of the days, just maybe 4 days a week. But this has, it's taken a while to be able to do that. So
I'm hearing you say it's every experience is teaching you how to become more efficient and really juggling those two roles, which is quite honorable on its own, and such an aspirational goal. You are an incredible role model, Olivia. I will say it again. I will always say it. I look up to women like you, and I think that our young girls and our young boys will be looking up at role models such as yourself and your husband and say, they are paving the way to so many opportunities. I can go on and ask you so many questions. I'm very conscious of the time, so I'm going to wrap it up and bring it to an end. Olivia, it has been such an incredible honor to have you with us. Anybody watching this is Olivia Manner, who is the owner and head of food and innovation with Hello Chef here in the United Arab Emirates. Thank you, Olivia, for being here. And thank you, everybody, for watching. I will see you all at our next Desk Careers Digital Spotlight.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much.